Hey guys, welcome to another reading on my channel, The Wisdom of Intuition. Today we are doing a yes or no reading to answer any of the questions you guys may have. I do have to say before we begin that the yes or no reading on my channel, the way that I do them, are a bit different than most people do them. Usually people pull a few cards and then they see how many cards are in the upright position and how many are in the reverse position, and then regarding to that they make the conclusion whether it's a yes or no. Even though that method works, there's nothing wrong with it. I particularly prefer to use the whole context of the situation that you are inquiring about, and then we make out the answer, or better yet, you having all the information and all the facts that we can get from the reading, decide for yourself whether that's a yes or a no for you. Of course, in some situations you would like to get a yes, and others you would like to get a no. So again, I'm laying out the context and we are basically going to see whether it's more of a yes or a no, but I feel like more than often the context is important, so we are going to focus on that. We have 3 different piles today that you can choose from, and they are pile 1, yellow calcite, and the card 3 of emotion, which is the 3 of cups in the traditional tarot. We have pile 2, moonstone, and the card 2 of keys, the treasure, which is the 2 of pentacles in the traditional tarot, and pile 3, black tourmaline, and the card the knight of wands. As always, guys, if you need more time to pick your pile, you can pause the video. And also remember, this is a general reading, so always take only what resonates and leave what doesn't. See you in your pile. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the yellow calcite stone and the card 3 of emotions, and we will start with the card because it represents the energy and the yes or no answer to your question. So basically, guys, you can think of any question regarding any situation and we will try to get a context and the proper way of approaching the situation for you. Okay, so with the 3 of cups here, what I'm sensing is that there is a choice here. And it might be one of the reasons you are here. You are inquiring whether the choice that is presented in front of you is something that you should choose or no. So whether this is a choice between partners, choice between 2 jobs, choice between 2 different hobbies, or maybe just 2 different lifestyles, or whatever it is, I feel like you are torn between actually choosing one of those, because I feel like you guys like both, and even if there are several options, I feel like you guys are inclined to indulge in all of them. So for me, the issue for you here is which choice is actually better for me. If I say yes to one choice, I have to say no to the other, and vice versa. And in a way, I would like to have both choices open for me, but I don't know if that's possible. We will dive a bit more deeper into it to see what else we need to know. So yes or no to pile 1's question. What do we need to know? Yes or no to pile 1's question. We have boundaries. And we have justice. Okay, so there's a theme here that I'm getting with these 2 oracle cards that we just pulled. I feel like this has to do with self-respect and somebody's perception of what is acceptable. So let's say the choice is between 2 partners, and one partner wants exclusivity and you're not entirely sure whether you're ready for it or not, but the other partner, the choice that you have is they are sure. And in a way, if you choose that partner, you will have to also choose exclusivity and being very serious with that relationship. And if you are struggling with this, if you are not sure, then definitely this might be the reason why you are not ready to say yes or no to this situation. If there is some type of agreement or some type of contract that you guys might have to sign, then definitely there will be some sort of constriction to the way that you can operate or do. And I feel like a lot of you feel it's going to be a lot from your side and you're going to have to give a lot, and you're not sure whether you will get back the exact amount. So there is this justice factor here. Am I going to get an equal return if I say yes to this? Okay, so these are all of the questions that are popping up as a context to your question. So let's see what else. Yes or no? Okay, we have two popping out. We have kisses, unconditional loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. And we have girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Yeah. So if this is about a relationship, I'm definitely seeing that some of you are thinking whether you should stay single or you should enter in a relationship, or maybe if you're choosing between two different partners, with one you can stay in an open relationship, and with the other you will have to, in a way, commit. So that might be one of the things that is troubling you. And what I'm getting from this, I feel like a lot of you are not yet ready to fully commit. If this is something business-wise, if this is something regarding any other topic you might be inquiring here, I feel like the issue is the same for you. You are in a way concerned because of the boundaries, because of the constriction, because of infringement of, let's say, your free will. Because if you are choosing this option that requires certain obligations and certain rules that you have to obey by, then I feel like you are not really fully being yourself here, at least at the moment. And by this, what we're seeing here, I get it why you are maybe in conflict, whether you should choose this or not, but it comes down to who you are as a person, whether you are ready, and whether this person or option, whatever it is valuable enough for you to maybe give up on other things and maybe, let's say, sacrifice some type of freedom that you may have in order to have this. If it's a no, then definitely you shouldn't pursue this. But if it's worthwhile, if it's worth enough for you, then maybe these boundaries won't be such a burden as they might seem at the moment. But let's take a closer look. Yes or no for pile one. What is the answer to their question? We have the Hermit. We have the Seven of Inspiration, which is the Seven of Wands. Yeah, the Lovers. Again with the choice. I do feel for those of you who have two people that you are choosing from, or two maybe ways of doing things, or two jobs, one will offer you stability, one will offer you kindness, and one will offer you structure. And the other will allow you to be free, to have a lot of fun, to not take anything serious. And it just comes down to what you truly want at the moment. It really does. And in pile 1, there could be people who want stability, and there can be people who want their freedom. This is why I always ask for context, because not all situations are yes, and not all situations are no for each and every one of us. This is why the context is important. Let's see what else, yes or no. We have 5 of materials, which is the 5 of pentacles. And one more, we have the temperance. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you here are scared to be put in a box, scared to be put in some kind of frame, whether that is a steady relationship, whether that is a contract. You might want to work as a freelancer and contracts are way too abiding for you. Or maybe you're just a type of person who changes their mind often about what they like to do, and if they have to commit to something, you have to deal with a lot of expectations from other people, and you're just not that type of a person, which is understandable, Pawan. Of course, we are not all the same, and we shouldn't be the same. That's the beauty of life. However, when it comes to this choice, you are definitely viewing one choice as better than the other. There's no doubt about it. And you clearly know what that choice is. And I feel like you've just come to this reading to reaffirm what you've already kind of decided. And so for a lot of you who crave stability, it's a yes for you to this choice. For those of you who crave freedom and fun time, it's a yes to this other choice. But do bear in mind that every choice has its consequence, has its result that will happen in the end once you choose a path. And I feel like one choice will give you more balance in terms of your life stability, the way that your life is on the mundane level, the way that you do your ordinary stuff. It's going to be very stable. And the other choice will give you a lot of fun time. It will give you a lot of experience, but it will as well give you a lot of adversity, a lot of insecurity, a lot of maybe unsettledness. And this is why you need to choose based on your character. Because if you do not crave stability, then you will not be sad about you not having it. If you crave fun, then this will definitely be the best choice for you. But if you're somebody who wants something stable, something long-term, something predictable, something that can be nurtured and something that grows over time, then definitely you have to choose that option. And this is why context matters, because for a lot of you, I could say no here, because I feel like you are questioning the stable choice. And I would say no. However, there are some people here who actually want this. So for you, it's going to be a yes to this, okay? Take it as it resonates, because that's the most important thing. Okay, I wanted to take some advice, but now I see I haven't prepared any of the cards for that. So give me just a second, guys, to get another deck here. Let's see, what will we take for this? I actually have this one oracle deck that I usually like, which is the Sacred Traveler. I like to take it for advice because they have short messages, and actually they always come in handy when I'm doing all sorts of readings. So let's pull some advice for you, Pile 1, for your situation. What do you need to hear here? We have joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. And one more. Watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. So what I'm getting with these two cards is that you need to figure out what gives you joy. So this is not the fun here that we were talking about. For some of you, it can be, but when these two come together, ask yourself, in which choice would I be able to just lie back, rest, relax, and be happy that I made this choice? Which is the one that can allow me to do this? And I feel that for a lot of you will be the fun, the open, the free choice, but there are definitely like 30% of you who will choose the stable one. And I do have to say, without diminishing the worth of you who will choose the free one, this choice here offers you something very valuable, something that will withstand time. And I feel like here, even though you might feel a bit constricted, or you might feel, it doesn't have to be that you will be restricted, it seems like this is an option that will give you more worth when it comes to things that matter in life. But again, it doesn't have to be, okay? We are all different, and these things mean different to us. They are not the same worth for each and every one of us, okay? So choose the one that will give you the feeling of, I can relax because I've chosen this, okay? And I know you guys know which one of these choices that is. Okay, guys, this was your reading. I hope it helped. I hope it cleared some doubt. And I know that a lot of you have gotten your answer. If you did, please let me know down in comments, because I like to hear what your thoughts of the reading were, whether this was helpful, and as well if you liked the video. You can always suggest some topics if you'd like me to make a reading on it, and I hope that I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Moonstone and the card 2 of Keys, the Treasure, and we will start with this card because it represents the energy of your question. So think of any question, it can be basically anything, and we will take a look at what does that mean for you, what's the context of that, and then we might get a yes or a no. So with the 2 of Keys, which is basically 2 of Pentacles in the traditional deck, I feel like you are in a way measuring your loss. It's like you've lost something that was valuable, and now you are thinking of, how can I turn this around? How can I get this back? How can I act so that this doesn't affect me as much? So whether you have lost a partner, a friend, a job, maybe you've lost some sum of money, maybe your health has deteriorated, there's something that you've lost. And I feel it was because either you were careless or you didn't pay attention to the signs that you were given. And now you're just wondering whether you could have prevented this and how to approach this without any further loss on your side. Because I feel like the amount of resources that you need to rebuild this is a lot. It will ask a lot from you, and you're not sure if you're ready to invest in that again, if you're ready to put in the effort, put in the money, put in the time, put in the resources, because it will take a lot from you. And I feel like you are undecisive whether you should do this or not. So let's see a bit more about your question. What do we need to know? Is it a yes or a no? Yeah, we have the new beginning. Okay, so this is kind of blatant. And we have finding. Okay, so with these 2 cards coming out, I feel like there will be a new beginning. If you're not sure whether you should try again or not, I feel like this is saying there is a new beginning. But it does not necessarily mean that you should try again at the same thing or with the same person. It just says new beginnings. So for some of you, it might mean, yes, let's try this over. But for some of you, it might mean I need to turn my focus to something completely different and start from scratch with that. Okay? But what I'm getting with the finding here is I feel like you need to approach this new beginning with a different mindset. So instead of thinking, oh, I now have to build this from the ground, I have to do this all over again, I'm not sure whether I can do it, it's going to take a lot. Why don't you just approach it with a new notion? Let's say, okay, now I know where I'm weak, where my weak spots are, where I'm not as strong as I can be, and let's see how I can now build something new with these new revelations in mind. So in order to build something new, you can actually make it even better than the thing that you've had before, because you have found out that there are certain weaknesses that can now be prevented because you have been through such experience of loss. Okay, well, let's pull 2 more cards. Yes or no to your question, pile 2. We have soulmates, soul connection, partnership, agreement, and soul contract. And 1 more. The Phoenix, yes, a new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and changed my mind. So again, we see this notion of rebuilding, of the Phoenix rising from its ashes. And I feel like for a lot of you, yes, you will rebuild what you have lost, and it's going to pay itself off. So definitely, if you're thinking of rebuilding something, yes, you should. However, you should think about whether you should rebuild the same thing or the same connection or whatever this is, or whether it might be better for you if you build something completely different. Okay? It's not going to be the same for all of you here, and I have to point that out. Let's see. Let's dive more into this. Yes or no to pile 2's question. What do we need to know? We have the 7 of Scrolls, which is the 7 of Swords, intricacies and industry. We have the 6 of Scrolls, the Sands of Time. This is the 6 of Swords. Sorry guys if my voice is not entirely as it is usually, because I have been ill for almost 2 weeks now. So I hope I will get better. But at least I can talk. The first week I couldn't even talk. So we have the Queen of Scrolls, again the Swords. So the Queen of Swords, a lot of swords here, pile 2. Interesting. It can definitely be something like intellectual property. That's here a topic. That's a topic here. Okay, if you have lost, or maybe somebody has stolen your idea, or maybe you didn't copyright something and now you have to build from the ground up, I definitely feel like you should think of new ways. Maybe not doing the same thing, just do something more original than you've already made up. But I'm definitely seeing that either you were deceived here by somebody, either you were naive, and that led to your demise here. So with the intricacies in industry here, I feel like you didn't have all the facts, you didn't have all the information, and you were taken advantage of. But now that you've been through this experience, you cannot turn back time, even though we have the sense of times. But what we can do is we can use the experience to not ever have to go through the same thing. Okay? And I feel like now you have more knowledge because you went through this loss. You've learned the trade, you've learned all the secrets that people know who are well into the industry, who are well into the situation, whereas somebody who's a novice, who's a rookie, doesn't know. Okay, now you have burned yourself in a way, but you have learned the secrets, and now I feel like you can put things like on better foundation. So everything that you grow from here will now have better foundation. And this is what I was talking about earlier. It doesn't have to be the same thing. You can build something entirely new, but it will not have the same faults as the old thing had. Okay? You can use this experience to bulletproof the new thing you will be building. So we have the Eight of Forces, which is the Eight of Wands, the lightning bolt. And one more, the King of Roses. Okay, so how this looks to me is that I feel like now you have information, crucial information that you didn't have before, and with that information you will be unstoppable, and I feel like you will be protected in this new endeavor. So again, my answer, yes. If you are asking about whether you should start something again, whether you should start a new beginning, or maybe you should rekindle or regrow something, yes, you should. But not without first making this introspective to see where things went wrong in the first place. And then using the knowledge, the information, and the wisdom you have gained from this loss and turn it into something that will benefit your new endeavor. And with the Eight of Wands, with the Eight of Forces here, I feel like you should just, when you start rebuilding, keep it under wraps. Okay, keep quiet about it. And then when it's grown to a certain extent, when you feel like you're happy and satisfied with it, and when you have ensured that you have protected it with this new information, then go full on with it. Announce everything to the world. And I feel like people will be shocked and amazed how you were able to rise from the ashes and make something even better than the thing that you've lost. I'm giving heavily here, like either you guys had some sort of idea, or maybe you were the original creator of something and somebody else copied you and stole your idea and they didn't give credit to you. I feel like a lot of content creators may have chosen this pile, and I feel you are very disappointed, but don't be, guys. I will try to remember the saying correctly. Whether it's copying or plagiarism is the biggest form of flattering. It goes something like this. So basically, the one that copies your idea, is making the ultimate admiration, the ultimate compliment to you. Because they see your idea in such an amazing light that they have to copy it to be worthy, to be noticed. Even though all people have great ideas, but they chose your idea because they thought it was better than any of theirs. Okay, it's the ultimate flattery. Remember that, pile too. I feel it's important for you. And let's pull some advice for pile 2. What do you need to hear? We We have solitude. In silence, peace prevails. Exactly. I feel like you need to take a step back and retreat from everything and everyone. And like I said, build your new endeavor in quiet. And then just one day, pop it out. Everyone will be shocked. Even the people who stole from you or the one who took something from you will not be able to do anything against you. Okay? And let's pull one more. Rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life. I know it's going to be a tough one, pal, too. But even this loss, it's like a blessing in disguise. Because it has taught you, or it will teach you, a certain wisdom, a certain information and knowledge that you hadn't had prior to this. And because of it, you will be able to build something that will be protected, something that will be entirely yours. And trust me, pal, too, whatever you have lost, it is not the best that you can produce. It's not the best idea that you can have. It's not the best person that you could have had. It's not. It can be better. So, in a way, you will recognize later that even though this might have been a great loss to you, it opened up the path to so many blessings that will come into the future. And I feel like you will be grateful that you didn't surrender and that you decided to fight and try one more time. My dear pal, too, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, leave me a comment down in the comments. It really means a lot to me, especially I love to read your comments when you definitely find something useful for yourself in my readings, and it gives me a lot of inspiration to keep doing this. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and of course, I hope that I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen this black tourmaline and the card, the Knight of Wands. This card represents the energy of your questions, so definitely if you haven't thought of a question, now is the time to ask it, and then we will see whether it's a yes or no. Of course, we will get the context first, and then we will see the answer. So, because you've got the Knight of Wands, I feel like you guys are rushing a bit. It's like you're jumping to conclusions. Either you are blindfolded or blindsided by the reward or the fame or the affection or love, whatever you can gain from this situation. But I feel like there are other things you haven't considered, and I feel like you need to slow down a bit and find more information. Because I don't like to say this, but it definitely seems like things are a bit too good to be true. Even though I do not truly believe that there is something as too good to be true, there can either be I'm not seeing things clearly or I'm totally uninformed. But in your case, I definitely feel like you have allowed yourself to focus primarily on what you are getting and not really being conscious of what you will have to give in order to get that. Okay, if it makes sense. So let's pull some more cards to see whether it's a yes or no to your question, pile 3. We have manifestation. I see where this is going. Okay. And closure. Yes. So I feel like either some of you have been actively manifesting, or if you're not familiar with the term, or maybe you are, but you're not just practicing it, I feel like there's a wish of yours that seems to be coming true. Maybe you've met someone that you actually like and things seems great. Maybe you've gotten a job offer that you always wanted to get. Maybe you can go traveling, somebody offered you something. I don't know, it can be anything. It can be anything. But on the surface, it looks like it's going to be a wish come true. However, there's something about this that doesn't seem quite as good. Okay, I have to say this because it's like there's a red flag here and you're being ignorant of it. It's not like you are not seeing it, it's like you are actively deciding to push it away and now to not to focus on it. And that can be a problem because red flags are red flags for a reason, okay? They are something that is not it's not negotiable, okay? If it's a red flag, you're out. And I feel like you've been wanting this wish to come true for so long that it's like you don't want to admit that maybe it's not this. Even though it seems amazing, even though it seems perfect, it is not. It has a deep flaw within it. And I don't want to be the bearer of the bad news today, but unfortunately, I guess I will have to be. But then again, I can offer you some guidance on this particular subject because this is something that I'm actually quite good at. And that is when you start manifesting, life will basically give you a test example of your manifestation. What does that mean? If the shift you are making is a huge one, let's say you've never had any luck within relationships, and now you have finally found somebody who seems like he's a great person or she's a great person, or maybe they are fun, happy, fun to be around, loyal. They seem perfectly fine. They seem more than fine. They seem like everything you've been wanting, except for one little thing. But that one little thing is kind of important to you. And now you're questioning, am I being ungrateful if I say no to this? Because this seems pretty spectacular. Like 90% of the things are amazing, 10% not quite, but there's this one little thing that I really cannot. But if I say no, then I don't think I'm going to get any other chance. And this is your trap, pile 3. This is your trap because the universe is testing you whether you have truly changed and made a closure to the old way of thinking. Whether you have truly decided to change and become the person who can have this wish that you're so wanting to manifest. And when you're right at the point of getting that wish, the universe tests you whether you are really ready. And a lot of people don't get their manifestation precisely because of this. They see something that's very good. They find a red flag, but it's just one. Their previous boyfriends or jobs or whatever it was had like major 5, 6, 7 red flags. This is just one. Maybe I can deal with it. No. If it's a red flag, then it's a non-negotiable, pile 3. There's no negotiations about it. You have to say no to this because that is not what you are asking for. It is not your true wish. I'm not saying things have to be perfect. They never are. But the things that are not perfect cannot be red flags. It has to be something that you can live with, that you can tolerate, that you can accept and maybe work with. But not if it's a red flag, pile 3. I'm sorry to have to bring this news to you, but I see so many people struggling with this. I struggled with this for years until I finally figured it out. I have to say no if it's not the thing that I want. So you need to have closure with the old version of yourself who settled for less, pile 3. This is the point I wanted to make. Sorry for the rant that's been going on for a few minutes, but I want to stress how important this is. Don't settle, pile 3. This is the part where I saw you being blindfolded and blindsided by the thing that you might be getting. Don't settle just because this seems like it's a good thing. Don't ignore the things that are bad. Evaluate whether the things that you don't like are something you can live with or not. If the downside of this situation is something that you can live with for years without any major problem, then maybe this is a good thing for you, yes. But if you think that you will have to deal with it and you feel like it's going to be very bad for you, then definitely, pile 3, I would say, no, this is not for you. You need to let go of the version of yourself who would do anything to get what you need. Anything, even betray yourself, okay? You need to let go of that part of yourself who can do that to yourself. You deserve better, and you should ask for better, pile 3. That's the moral of the story. You deserve better than this. Let's pull some more. Yes or no to pile 3's question. Palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. And we have heartbroken, of course, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, and mourning. So there's definitely this aspect of you being through a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of turmoil. And finally, you have received something that seems great. And of course, now you don't want to be ungrateful. You have waited so long. You've worked so much on this. But again, pile 3, you have grown so much. It would be a shame for you to take second best. You didn't work your ass off to take second best, to take some leftovers. You deserve the main thing. And I feel like this is not it. This is just a test. The universe is testing you whether you're truly ready to receive the big thing. And the big thing, pile 3, believe it or not, comes right after you say no to this. 100%, trust me. It comes right after you've said to the universe, I know my worth, I know my standard, this is not it. Do better, universe. And then the universe responds and gives you what you deserve. You're the one who sets a standard to what's acceptable. Remember that, pile 3. Let's pull some more. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm sounding like somebody who's preaching. I'm not trying to do that, but I feel like you're going to miss out on something so amazing if you settle for this. No matter how good this looks like now, it's definitely not the thing you're asking for, and I don't want you to make a mistake. Let's see, yes or no for pile 3. We have the Queen of Wands. Yes, we definitely want to see her. She knows her worth. She knows what she deserves, and she doesn't say yes to anything. You need to get on her good side in order for her to say yes. What else? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Of course, we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is what it all comes down to. The thing you are wanting to happen, the thing you want to manifest will happen when you say, I expect this, not this. The universe will have to provide because you've set a standard. What else? The Empress, of course. And then you get the full package, the full picture, everything you've been asking for. Because you said, this is not up to my level. I want something that's more appropriate. And then the universe delivers. We have the Four of Wands. Four of Pentacles, sorry guys, I don't know why I said Four of Wands. And we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so again, I feel like you're not even aware that you are holding the key, the password to the resolution of this situation. You're the one who decides whether the ship will sail or not. You're the one who decides what will happen in your life. I know that there's a lot of people who tell you that's not the case, but it is. You are powerful, Pile 3. We all have our own individual power. It is limited to a certain extent, but it is powerful nonetheless, okay? And you do have the power to say no. And you have the right, Pile 3, to say no to anything that's not up to your level. And you have a right to ask for more. And I feel like you have forgotten that. You have forgotten that you can ask for more. Do not settle for less. Do not sell yourself short. You are deserving of the thing that you truly want. And anything that's not it yet, you can say no to. You can. And trust that the universe, God, life, whatever you want to call it, it's going to provide. It's going to provide. Have faith. Have a bit of faith. Okay? Life is not here. God is not here to torture you. He wants you to have an experience of being a full-grown conscious being, because you are part of God and He wants you to have this experience. Believe in that and He will deliver. Okay, Pile 3, let's wrap this up with advice. I feel like I've talked plenty today, so let's see advice for Pile 3. Okay. Passion and pleasure, savor your life. Exactly. Why would you have to settle for less? Why? You can enjoy, even if you decide to indulge this option, bear in mind that you are not limited to it, okay? So I feel like I need to address this as well. If some of you decide to take this option, it's fine. Enjoy it, have fun with it, but don't forget that if you want more, if this is not sufficient in any way, you have the right to ask and get more, okay? Just to be clear, maybe some of you will indulge in this option. Fine, good for you, but don't forget that you can have something major, something more greater if you truly decide to. What else? Solitude. In silence, peace prevails. I like this card a lot because I feel if you guys go into solitude, if you guys decide to meditate after this reading, I feel like you will understand where I'm coming from and why I'm telling you not to settle for this. I feel like you know this somewhere deep inside, but you have decided, or maybe you've allowed yourself to be like swept away with what you can get from this manifestation, because there are beautiful things that can come out of this. I'm not gonna lie. But again, remember the red flag. It's not here in vain, okay? You have to take accountability that if something has a red flag and you've decided to not look at it, then you're the one that's actually with your own free will participating in this, and there's nobody else to blame, okay? Take accountability for that. But I feel like a lot of you, if you decide to take some time in peace and quiet and meditation, you will understand that this is just a test and that God is just saying, are you ready for the real thing? Or will you go back to your old ways? This is not a test like somebody's trying to taste you to grade you. It's a test in terms of whether you're ready to fully live your life. Because nothing is without price. If you want to have an extraordinary life, then you have to work for it. You have to become the person who can have that. It doesn't just happen to people, okay? You got to understand that. And I feel like you guys can actually have something quite extraordinary here if you understand that this is just a test. My dear Pal 3, I'm going to end this now. I hope this resonated. If it did, it would mean a lot for me if you would let me know down in the comments, if you would leave a like. And of course, especially what makes me most happy is to see you coming back to my videos and following my work. So until next time, bye.